Hey guys, this is James from Isotropic, and in this video we're going to talk about headers in Oxygen Builder and how to do sticky effects where you can scroll down and it disappears. As you scroll up, it shows. You can also shrink it as you scroll down. And I think this is a good cross between sticky and having more real estate on the screen. A lot of people like having their headers fixed at the top of the page because it takes up a lot of screen space. But by implementing these tricks, you can, number one, you can shrink it, and number two, you can actually hide it when scrolling down, which makes sense because if the user's scrolling down your page, they're probably reading the content. And as they scroll up, if they need to get to the menu, it's here already. So I'm going to show you how to do this. There are actually two different JavaScript methods, and they work together, and we kind of mesh them together using CSS. But I've left them separate so you can choose between one or the other or use both of them in one site. So one makes it just hide as you scroll down, the other just shrinks it as you scroll down, and we can mix both of them together. We're going to use basic jQuery. You don't even need to know jQuery because linked in the description is all of the code that was used here. All of this code is just adapted from a bunch of different Stack Overflow articles ever since we've been using Oxygen. We've kind of figured this out. So if I remembered any of them, I would link them in the description, but there are a million different articles on how to do this. So let's get into the back end of Oxygen and kind of show you how this effect works and how you can use it on your site. So let's find Oxygen. Okay, here's Oxygen. And I've done this effect. Number one, we've built our header and our header footer template. And in this example, it's just a template. It's a catch-all template. It has your header section. It has a footer section. And then this section contains this big image, which is just used for scrolling through, but we would probably throw an inner content in here in a production site. The header itself is just a very simple creation. We have our image that shows up on the left side, and let's see if I can get it. We have our image that shows up on the left side right here. It would be cool if this calmed down a little bit. We have our demo menu items, and that's about it. We've used a code block to apply custom CSS and jQuery JavaScript. In a production site, I would probably implement it a bit differently, but I'm going to show you it in the code block so you can kind of just get an understanding of what I'm going for here. Again, this is a fixed sticky header, and I'm going to show you that effect now. We can see that our section contains our header, and we can see that there is an ID saying header nav and a custom class saying nav initial. And we can see in the back end on nav initial, we have set a fixed height of 100, and we have a container padding of 10 and 10. And then here there is, I believe under layout, if we go there, the position is fixed and the top is 0. So fixed means it's going to stay fixed on the body as you scroll down. Setting the top equal to 0 just means the top of this element is going to end up at the top of the page. So as you can see, it's at the top of the page, and then as we scroll down, it remains at the top of the page. I don't know if it'll actually work, but it remains at the top of the page. And that's how you would do just your standard fixed menu in Oxygen. You'll notice that I'm actually using a section and not the header builder, and I always use sections to create my menus here. I've never used the header builder. I used it maybe like twice and just really didn't like how it worked, and we can recreate the same thing using a section and just get a bunch more control out of it. So again, our section has an ID of header nav and a class of nav initial, and then within that we just have an image, and you'll notice that our image is actually set as header logo to have a height of 100, and our fixed height of the header section is 100 pixels, and then we have two paddings on the top and the bottom, and those are both 10. So our image height right now is 80%, and I'm keeping it at a percentage rather than specifying the width and the height in pixels here, because you'll notice as we scroll, the image changes, and this is a poor example of that, but the image gets smaller and then it grows as the outer container grows. So this just keeps everything nice and responsive, and the image won't poke off the screen as we apply our effect, and that's how I did that. And then we just have a div on this side of the section. You'll see that div is highlighted now, and that's just pushing 100%. You can see the width is 100%. That's just pushing up against that image. So that's how we kind of built this section. And now let's talk about how we can do these effects. And again, everything is linked in the description below, all of the code, a written documentation on how to do this. So hopefully it should be a bit easier to follow with the written documentation as well as this video. So you'll see that first I'm going to show you the CSS and kind of walk you through how this works, and then I'm going to show you the JavaScript that conditionally applies CSS classes, these CSS classes, to the header as we scroll the page. So initially, I would love it if this stopped, but I guess it won't. Initially, our header nav says we have a height of 100, and our transitions are top 0.5 seconds and height 0.5 seconds. So what this means, if you're not familiar, is that when we change any of these aspects, when we change the top CSS position, when we change the height, it'll take half a second to do that. So it's not going to just jump from one size to another. It'll take half a second to move from one size to another. And you'll see that here it takes half a second to have these effects applied. And that makes it nice and smooth, and I think it looks pretty decent because of that. So then we have, for some reason, I was getting an issue where the inner wrap of the Oxygen Builder section was having the global styling applied to it. So I just canceled that out by specifying the padding here with more specificity. I don't know how to say that, but you'll get it. Than the actual rule that was being applied. So when you have just more classes, when you're more specific with what you want your styling to be applied to, then it will override the initial styling. Then you'll see that we have three main classes. We have one saying nav up, one saying nav down, and a tiny class. So these kind of work together to get our end effect. And the tiny class is associated with the actual height of the header as we scroll, and that's one effect. And we can decouple it from the hiding of the header when we're scrolling down. And then the nav up and nav down are used to hide the navigation when we're going down and show the navigation when we're going up. So let me show you kind of the CSS behind that. So tiny nav up means that the header is going to be 50 pixels high, and you'll remember that our initial header height is 100 pixels high, so this makes it smaller, and that's really it for the tiny. So as we scroll down, we apply tiny, and the header just drops down to 50 pixels. You'll remember that our image is 100% high, so it just pushes down to 50, and if there was no additional effect, then it would just look like this at the top of the page as we scrolled. And then when we get back to the top, it goes and jumps right back to what it was. So that's the tiny, and we could just do tiny by itself, and I'll show you the jQuery for that. But we also have nav up, nav down, and you'll see here and let me show you first, when we're going down, the class applied is, let's go and inspect this. You'll see the class applied is nav up. So when we're going down, it's nav up. And the reason it's nav up is because it's pulling the nav up off the page. And then when we're going up, watch over here, conditionally, it says nav down. And nav up is gone, and now it's nav down. So you'll see that everything changes. And you'll also see that tiny is removed when we get to the top of the page. So something to take a look there. And so nav down is when we want our nav to be visible. So you'll see that the top here is 0 pixels. And if you remember back to the beginning of the video when I'm talking about the fixed positioning, when you have fixed positioning with 0 pixels, then it's just going to show up at the top of your page. It's going to be pushed right here. The top of whatever section is fixed is going to just be applied to the top of the page. You can also set like a bottom, and then it will show up at the bottom. So it kind of makes sense if you're not familiar with that. Then you'll see that this is 0. And then you'll see when nav is up, oh, and it doesn't actually matter, but when nav is up, we have our height set to 10 pixels, and it can remain at 50 pixels. I don't really know why it's at 10 pixels. Let's change it to 50. So when nav is up, the height is 50 pixels. So we just have a standard height that's set in pixels, and our top is now negative 50 pixels. So what that means is that this drops down to be 50 pixels tall, exactly like this. But when we're going down, the class that has a top of negative 50 is applied conditionally through the JavaScript, and it pulls it up 50 pixels, and because the height is 50 pixels, it gets pulled 100% off the page. So let me see. I don't know if this is going to ruin everything, but I don't really know why it was 10. I think it should be 50, 50, 50, and that's just keeping things standard. But as long as you have a set height and then the same top pulling it up, the same negative top offsetting that, then it'll pull it off the page. So hopefully that CSS kind of makes a little sense. That CSS is applied to the menu just through a code block, and we'll see if I broke everything here. So as we scroll down, yep, that all works. Okay, so that's how the CSS works. Now what we need to do is, as you saw in my inspection, if you watch the classes here, we need to dynamically apply these classes as we scroll the page. So when we're going down, we pull the nav up. When we're going up, we pull the nav down. When we're at the top, we make our bar bigger by removing tiny. And then when we go down, tiny's added. It's made 50 pixels high, and we have the nav up and down. To do that, we're going to use some JavaScript, and this is kind of like two JavaScripts mixed together. I didn't combine them. I probably could combine them to make it easier, but it's kind of modular this way. We can remove the CSS if we don't want it, and I talk more about that in the article. But we'll see here, and I think part of this is from a one source overflow or a code pen or something, and then part of this is from some other thing. So if I can find the links, I'll link them in the description. This first one is the hide header on scroll down. And the way this works is, to make things simple, it figures out when you're scrolling down the page and when you're scrolling up the page. So when you're moving the page up, it means you're scrolling down. When you're moving the page down, it means you're scrolling up. And it figures that out using all of this. And then the important parts here are that when we are going down, when we're scrolling down, you can see scroll down, we remove the class nav down and we add the class nav up. And then when we're scrolling up, it's just the opposite. We add the class nav down and we remove the class nav up. And you can literally copy paste this JavaScript directly into a code block in your site, and it'll begin to work perfectly as long as you properly apply your CSS classes. So that's how that works. And you'll see that this whole section up until here is its own thing. And then here, and actually I'll remove both of them in the future to kind of show you, but then we have here, we have another function, and this is a much simpler chunk of code, and this is the jQuery that we use to toggle the tiny class. And if you remember, the tiny class brings our height from 50 pixels or from 100 pixels down to 50 pixels. And this is what this says. It says the header navigation, we're going to either add or remove the tiny class if we are exceeding 100% or 100 pixels scroll down the page. We're going to add the class, we're going to toggle tiny, and when we are under 100 pixels, then we are going to remove tiny. So when we add tiny, it becomes 50 pixels high. When we remove tiny, it becomes 100% or 100 pixels high. So that's how these two things work, and you'll see if I remove this and save our page, I believe, hopefully, if I don't have any caching or anything, the height won't change because it's not dynamically applying our tiny. And if I remove the other one and re-add this code, then the height will change, but it's going to not hide on the page. So we move these two together using the CSS that I showed you, and we get the nice nifty effect. And you'll see here, just like that, you'll see that our menu, and actually this is still using it's still dropping it down to 50 as it pulls it up 50 pixels. So that's kind of an interesting effect too. But that's how that works. And then if we just added tiny and then removed our hide on scroll function, so if we remove you, then we'll save this. And as this saves, if you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see on the video, it says function with our little jQuery, and then we have it wrapped in jQuery. So this is how we remove any errors, because when we write in jQuery or when we paste code in with jQuery, WordPress doesn't handle that well. So in that, or else we'll get a type error. And I think we're not even saved yet. I love local hosting because it's so nice and slow for these videos. So as this loads, hopefully the change will go through and we'll just see that this is sticky on our entire site, but the tiny class should be applied. We'll see if it actually works. But so now, I guess it doesn't want to work today. But now, essentially what I was trying to show you is that this drops down to 50 pixels, and I'm going to save this. This drops down to 50 pixels with the tiny class applied, so you can use that single function there, and then you can also, and you'll see that it remains fixed at the top of the page, and that's just your standard CSS. But then you can also add that hide on scroll, show on scroll up, or something like that. So basically, if you want to do this, hopefully this kind of give you a good overview of how we use CSS and jQuery to mesh these effects together, how you can break them up into individual effects. I think this is a pretty good method to do this on Oxygen Builder. Keep in mind that I'm using a section for my header, and when I do that, I set it to have a tag of header, and that's the proper way to do it. I don't use the header builder ever, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. This video is actually a question from a subscriber. So if you have any questions or tutorial requests, feel free to ask in the comment section below. Be sure to check out the associated article that contains all of this code. And until the next video, I won't see you in the next video. I will.